So as a follow-up to what I just made, I've now been able to reopen in the other room the OneNote thing by closing it down and restarting it, and all of this is confirmation that the computer that I lent to my wife in this room, which was our office for I think it would be almost a year, but I'll have to look at the salary incomes. Our salary at Plexus was up to $1,700 a month, and before she got the new job with her brother, she deliberately declared that the salary from Plexus had dropped to $1,100 and the other account was hers and hers alone, and that was the state of play for quite a long time in the last year of our period together, leading up to June the 4th of 2014. The concept that this computer was inaccessible because it had broken down when she moved to her new location, which I'm not allowed to know, and she changed her story from her being an employee of her brother, which she had been declaring for the last year, and that none of the costs of the divorce would come to me because her brother was paying for everything. That was changed to the fact that she was a freelancer and a self-employed person, and all of the data on all of our files and all of our tax commitments were conveniently encrypted. What happened to your files? All of your files were protected by a strong encryption with RSA 2048 using CryptoWall. More information about the encryption keys using RSA 2048 can be found here. I suspect that RSA is the Republic of South Africa because of the IT affiliations and the people that I talk to on IT in the town. This is Archie's computer, and I want you to see that when I started that and I got it going again, with the help of my friends in the skies, I presume, it was in fact openable and you could boot it up, and if I had the money or the will, I could have paid to have it unencrypted again, and I think that data is saved on OneNote on this computer. It may not be though, but because this computer was purchased in Dunedin where the IT and the Insight at Otago University and the links to Intel are even stronger there, my computers were more screwed in New Zealand than they ever have been in England. And now that you see the amount of money that Prime Minister, goodness me, the Prime Minister in New Zealand lives in the English city where they had the massive quake, and his name is John Keys, which is like it's pronounced like Caius College, Cambridge, and he is ever so strongly on into surveilling his people now in New Zealand. That's the .com project, 60 million a year to surveil 4 million citizens in everything they do in their own homes. And in England that project is completed now, and in England it's called RIPA, in Scotland it's called RIPAS. And I'm a participant in it. There we go. There's the declaration how much it would cost to get it encrypted, and there's the tab labelled encryption, encrypted PC recovery, and that is the declaration of how much it would cost to get your computer back to life with all of the files. The name is Valjane1, and it's what we got here, Microsoft Office OneNote to enable instant search and audio. Let's just have a little scroll through what I saved on the computer. Oh, it's going to close it and reboot the computer, so let's not do that. Tor2 This is about the server and the methods that were used for the encryption. About the mission, projects and technologies, paper and research, whistleblowing technologies, Forbes, references to Forbes, Hermes, cash deadline. That doesn't look like my wife's work, but basically she's given it to an IT specialist, and the IT specialist has been told to crash it or make it unworkable, and what has happened is that it has become marginally workable again, and I can boot it up, but I cannot open any of the encrypted files, and that's the instructions on what you do. Encrypted PC recovery instructions, and I don't see the cost of reinstalling all of your data on there. And when I found it before, it was on okay, so here's Her Ladyship's documents by title in a drop down list: Nationwide SO 4814, address labels template, pension sharing 1, pension sharing 1, SHL receipt February 2014, child protection and dental team, infection control 5th edition certified August 2013, infection control, hazardous materials. All of this her brother's work, none of it labelled Valerie Jane Lee's, my self-employed business, my tax commitments, my capacity to not reveal to my husband how much I earn in the year that I pretend that I've already left him, and that he's neglecting me financially as I falsely declare my income, even at Plexus, where she pretends that she was persecuted by Plexus, but her salary rose to £1,700 a month before she opted to become an employee for her brother. And that's the story on the Dell computer that was acquired by me in Dunedin as a gift to my family, and the software she's using on it is not owned by her brother's company. I noticed that he is very prudent and scrupulous with that. When I visit his vast mansion that is worth over £600,000, he has got legitimate software packages that are used within the company to run the company legally and for commercial purposes. None of the software on this computer is for that purpose. And my wife is a relatively innocent person. She used to be decent, she used to be upstanding, and she thinks that everything that is happening in this vicious wealth divide project is my fault. But I'm going to put all of that straight, and all of the truths are coming out. You know, at the very beginning of this process, I said to her solicitor, I will share my pension with my family for the rest of my life if that family adhere to the marital oath that they were only too pleased to sign up to when they were paupers, and the only thing they owned was the debt on their hire purchase car. That's a Nissan. I think it was worth £4,000. That was the only thing that my wife brought into the marriage, and that marriage was coincident with the receipt of my redundancy fees, and the financial advisors on where my pension should go sent it into the Aegon fund, which is busted. The people that stayed with the company pension have got a much better deal, and the costs of the advice were 40% of the fund. I've just found that out. And only when you have time to think about why the economy is collapsing do you see how the citizens get asset stripped. But when it happens with your own spouse, then it's quite shocking. Bye bye. That's the Dell and the encryption sole owner document. And there's the encrypted stuff again. And there's how to get the Tor project. Everything is linked back to Mossad, the Israeli intel, and the religious jokes, the Torah, the Tor wood, where there was a massive massacre in the Stirling region. It is a sick, sick world that we live in. Everybody's in it for the cash and the power, and to keep their colleagues and even their husband in fear.